Okay, so I've got the ab section all glued together, and now it's time to glue on the detailed cast pieces. So most of these parts are the same as the Shore Trooper, except the Tank Trooper actually needs two pieces of plastic glued onto here. There's a thinner piece and a thicker piece, and then this piece that goes here also requires extra little pieces to be glued on. It's my understanding that the Tank Trooper and the driver, the AT-ACT drivers, are actually using the same armor. So these additional pieces would need to be applied to those characters as well. There's a little bit thinner and thicker piece. The purpose of that is it's going to glue here, and this is going to glue here, and this is going to make it flush almost with the edge of there. So basically that step that you see here for the Tank Trooper is basically eliminated, and it has the stacks of plastic like that. Why, I don't know. And for the Tank Trooper, it also has a piece of plastic built up here, because you can see this step, and then they use these really, I got these really thin pieces that I'll have to put in here to help fill in that gap there. So it's not going to be very easy to glue, but I'm going to do that first before I glue it on here. This is the center piece. It's important that you mark up, so the flat part goes up, the angled piece goes down, and for the Tank Trooper it sits about there. It's not really low, it's actually just a tiny bit higher. It's pretty much where the ridge of this stops. So I think the Shore Troopers, some of them you see really low and high, they fluctuated, but for the Tank Trooper, from what I've seen, is right about there. This, just like the Shore Trooper, this decorative piece goes at the top, and then it's comes to the bottom here, and then it's centered between here. Same thing for this piece, it's centered between here, but comes to the bottom right there. That's it. It's basically like a sandwich of plastic for the Tank Trooper. Remember, this is not for the Shore Trooper. But for the Tank Trooper, yes. You've got to build that up there. So I've already sanded here, I've already sanded there. Clean that off all the way to the end, and then that's going to go like that. I want that to be the top. Yeah, that's up. There we go. That's what I'm looking for the Tank Trooper. Having the additional plates here. I'm using a thinner and a thicker sheet of plastic. Forgot what this one was. That one was a thicker, I think, with the thinner cut strips. It's I cut a real long one. You can see how narrow this is. So I just cut like a real long one, and then I spliced off what I needed. It's just insanely thin. This is the thickness of the plastic, and then that thin part is my cut, using a straight edge and a carpenter's knife. So you do that for there, and then that is the glued detail pieces for the Tank Trooper. Now just remember again, these additional pieces are not for the Shore Trooper. This is Tank Trooper, and also I'm going to say the same for the ATC drivers. I believe it's the same armor, so that was what I would do as far as building that character as well, doing the same thing.